Hi, Claudia. Hi, Keel. So welcome to the Sunday night broadcast. There are links below to various things like Skype calls and events. And the only event so far coming up this year is in Brighton. And that's a weekend in Brighton on the 16th of December. A bit close to the holidays, but that's the only weekend I could get. And what else? My book, which is available paperback and Kindle. And hi, Paul. And yeah, I think that's it. And yeah, I'm probably going to do Wednesday. I might do Wednesday after Lisa. Maybe I'll just do my talks after Lisa, because doing it Tuesday is a bit close to Sunday. So that's a good way around. Either that or Thursday. We'll see. See what works out. Hi, Donnie. So, non-duality. Of course, there is no non-duality. There's only what's happening. There's only just what's happening. That's it. Just sitting here. There's nothing else. There's nothing to get. You can't get this. You can't be taught it, because teaching it is just this, just an appearance. So you can't teach it. You can't teach how this. You can't teach to get here. It's an oxymoron, really. Hi, Ron. Hi, Alessandro. Yeah, the mean dog. Yeah, yeah. It's my wolf. So it's just what's happening. And just earlier today, someone gave me a link to a video, and oh, it was a science video. It was kind of science and non-duality. I don't really know how that works, because you can't have something and non-duality. But anyway, so I watched the video. It was really good. It was by this scientist who was basically saying that everything is a kind of, what's the word he used? Like a synchronistic happening. It all organizes itself, and it's a mystery how that happens. Because in essence, hi Sergey, in essence, everything just happens on its own. It's already ordered. What was it he called it? I can't remember the name. Claudia. He's saying it's ordered with a random amount of chaos, but really what I read into it was that it appears ordered, but really it's just all simultaneously happening. And there's no rhyme nor reason to it. Self-organizing, that's right, self-organizing. It's like everything, like going out from the planet into space, stars, all that, going down to this planet, people, animals, insects, cells, atoms, all the way down to quarks and strings or whatever it goes down to. There's nobody behind it. There's nobody behind it. That's what he was saying. And that's true. There's nobody behind it. There's nobody doing it. It's all just simultaneously synchronized into this, into just this. And it's never been anything else. Scientists kind of go into things. But I understand what he's saying. And the title of the video was interesting. It was called There is no thing. I think he said that, no thing. Because there isn't a thing. It seems like there's a thing, but when you break it down, it goes down into cells and atoms and everything. So there is no thing, which is singular. And I find that a very good analogy for this. There is no thing. There is no one. When you break down this body into atoms and organs and everything, there's nobody there. The person just seems to appear as a kind of a illusory reality. It's mesmerized. It's an illusion that is mesmerized by itself. And it thinks that it is a thing and everything else is things. There appears to be things, but there is no thing. And where it comes from and how it happens and how it is held together and organized, and you know how we seem to walk on the surface rather than fly, and all the different things is a total mystery. Paul says we think we're the center of the universe. Yeah, I think I am at the center of the universe. It doesn't think that others are at the center of the universe. It's just I am the center of the universe. Because I am separate from the universe. So it must all revolve around me. When there is no me. You take the body to bits. There's no me. Not there. Yeah. Paul says I certainly do. And so what can I say? Is that rhetorical or a question? But it's amazing, isn't it, how it also appears as being separate, as something that's separate, and then is looking for no thing, because there is no thing, there isn't anything. There is only what is, and that can't be called anything. No center there. No, Lee, no center. Where would the center be? It's only imagined as a center. That's an imagination. Hi, Kim. Aw, nice to see you too. It imagines there's a center. So it's impossible to imagine not having a center when all there is a center. So it's trying to be, in seeking, it's trying to be not a center anymore, which is kind of impossible. Because it can't be the not center. It can't go out and know nothing. There's nothing to know for a start, because no one can know it. There's nothing to know because there is no one to know it. There is only what is. Alessandro, can an old held strong stress in the body simply disappear suddenly if separation collapses? Yes, I think so. When the sense of separation is not there anymore, a lot of things do disappear. A lot of that is giving a shit. That kind of disappears. At least that happens, but it's not a thing, you know, it's that just all goes. Yeah, so there is yeah, that can happen, yeah. Neurotic tendencies go. That all goes. Joe, what's happening is not what is thought it is. Well, it's, you can't even, yeah, I mean, it's just what is. It's just what's happening. And the seeker tries to know what it is, what's happening. It tries to see that, yeah, okay, it's just what's happening. I'm looking for what's happening. I'm trying to understand what is happening. And that's illusory. Child, one moment. Spanish have a tendency, including their children, to speak very loud. Hi, Wa. Ramona. Hey, Ramona. Boink, kind of feel like I've put in other ears, like listen from a different place. Anyway, it doesn't matter, such a pleasure to hear your voice. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so please ask questions or anything, really. Comment. So you can see the irony there, that the seeker, especially in non-duality, looks for what's happening, thinks that I need to understand or I need to get it. I'm going to pop, called awakening. Just know. I'm going to pop, and then I will know the secret. But the irony is, when it does pop, or it does go, or vanish, or whatever, there's nobody left to know any secrets. Hi, Ron. What is the sales pitch for non-duality to non-seekers? Oh, is there anything to make it attractive? I don't sell to. I don't advertise at all. I just post what I'm doing on Facebook, do these videos. That's it. There's not an evangelical bone in this body. I don't know how one would make it attractive. I guess present non-duality as a teaching, which would be a load of nonsense. That's the only way to make it attractive to others who are not already drawn to the message. You can't really do that because, well, there's no interest in doing that. I couldn't care less, actually. Obviously, I hope that a few people come to my talks, even one, so I can pay my flight. But apart from that, I think some people do that, but I would not call them. They're not really. It's not the same message. It's more about seeking, getting something, getting there, and all the things you have to do to get there. Get where? Get where? It's just a joke. Teaching nobody to get somewhere where there isn't anywhere. Pop goes away, says Joe. Croaky tonight. There's nothing wrong with teachings, of course. I mean, you know, there's lots of teaching out there to teach the me how to feel better, and it apparently works. But this is not about the me feeling better. This is the fact that there is no me. And it's not the me feeling better anyway. It's life circumstances appearing to be better. It's not better for me. It appears like that, but it's not. It's illusory. Because when it appears better for me, it's not going to be long before it's not good enough, and now I need to go to the next thing. That's what teachings do. Mona. Such an optimistic clarity with the subject. Somehow my ears want to go and frown. Ears can't frown. But mine do when they're trying to get it. Got to put in my other ears. Yes, like trying to unravel a secret. Yeah, it thinks there's something it's not getting. And it really, really thinks that. It's like it thinks it to the core that there is something that I'm going to understand. But it's not true. It's just not true. It doesn't, the me is nothing. It's just nothing. With all the drama it makes, with all the thoughts it makes, it's nothing. It's a big storm in a teacup, in a non-existent teacup. Donnie, why does what is never seem to be enough, do you think? I think it's because the propensity of the illusory seeker, even if it's not into like non-duality or all that stuff, it always has to go after the next thing. I don't know why. I guess I could theorize and say that from what I remember here was that there was a feeling of incompleteness, and that's not surprising because the feeling of separation is the feeling of incompleteness, that something's wrong, that something's not complete, and I have to get there. So even if you're searching in material things or relationships or gurus or non-duality, it always wants this thing called completion, and it's that's the way it operates. It's literally an engine. It's like an engine that runs. It's an illusory engine that chugs along, and then we put the petrol of seeking in it, and off it goes again. I think, at least in non-duality, that there isn't something given for this me to do, because that definitely makes it worse. But at the same time, it is what's happening at the same time. And this is the irony: when there is no center to look from, and sees everything in this way, all there is, all the tricks of me, or everything, the whole thing is the life. Is the life. There is no life and me. There is nothing separate. The me is the life. It's the same as anything. It's the same as the glass. Same as the wall. It's the one life. And the thing with this one life, there's nobody to see it. There's a body operating in it, apparently. Kinda. And but that's it. That's it. And that's the same for everybody. There's just a body operating, and whatever's happening. And all simultaneously. It's like the Big Bang. Every moment, without there being a moment. Sergey, you say that nobody is here, but still I have a sense that I am here. And I am quite sure that I cannot escape this illusion, because I cannot kill itself. So what to do? Yeah, I'm not saying that there is nobody that apparently appears in the body. That definitely appears. I remember it appearing. rampantly near the end. Didn't die slowly. But, definitely put up a fight. Seeming fight. It wasn't really, it was all illusory. I still have a sense that I am here. Yeah, because that's the sense, that's the way it operates. It is the sense that I am here. That is the illusion that there is someone called I, and this I, which is me in my life, and everything happens to me in my life, lives in the body. That is the illusion. It appears, but it's not real. It's not a person. And I'm quite sure that I cannot escape this illusion. No, the I cannot escape its own illusion. But it can be definitely revealed that it's an illusion. But not to anyone, because I'm not speaking to anybody. I'm not speaking to me's, because there are no me's, and me's don't listen. Me's just claim to listen. Me say, I have ears, and it's me that's listening. Who? Who's listening? Nobody there. Listening is happening. Cognizing is happening. Nobody's doing that. There's only something there that says it's doing it, but it's not, because it happens on its own. It's what did Claudia call it? Self-organizing. It's this self-organizing. It just happens on its own. Absolute free fall. Mystery. Total mystery. So you're right, I cannot escape this because I cannot kill itself. So what to do? Well, I can't do anything because the I has no power of its own. It has no power of its own. It claims it does, but it doesn't. But it can be certainly undermined because it isn't the I called Sergey who's listening. It is life appearing as listening. Ramona, yeah, 100%. And also Lisa, I don't want better life situation. I do want better life situation, haha. I do. Yeah, well that's normal, isn't it? You know, that's the human. Nobody doing that. You don't want it. That's just the human. Jim Newman says, anything known is separation. Yeah, but no. Intellectually, it's separation. But in reality, it is non-separation appearing as separation. This is the thing. You can't separate it out. I guess somebody saying they know this, I would have to say, really? How can you know this? I mean, that's insane. Because knowing it would just be another appearance. Well, saying, you know, it's another appearance. You can't know this. You can't know sitting on a chair. Well, you don't need to know sitting on a chair. Sitting on a chair is sitting on a chair. Hi, Diego. Alessandra, I'm going to make this a bit bigger. I'm sure my eyesight's getting worse. Some years ago, I was suffering from strong anxiety. After a panic attack, suddenly there was no one. The body was completely transparent energetically, but then the me came back. Yeah, that can happen. And it seems to happen to quite a few. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe the panic attack just blew it out, you know? Like when people have extreme shock, you know, there's suddenly nothing, isn't there? They say there's nobody there. There's just nothing there. It's just all happening. Like in a car crash. I remember I had a car crash years ago. And I was only a teenager. And it was just suddenly, it's like time stood still, as if time just evaporated. It was just a sequence of events. Yeah. So it can, that's, yeah, I guess the sense of self can be blown out, because the sense of self appears really solid, appears like that, but actually it's more than gossamer thin. It's nothing. It's nothing. Well, even if you don't talk about non-duality, the idea of I is rather strange. I believe it stems from an idea of free will. But with it comes the idea of self-control, which already proves there is no real complete free will. Yeah, yeah. And it stems from free will. Yeah, I don't know where it stems from. I think, yeah, I don't know where it stems from. It just seems to appear, doesn't it? 1 minute there's just nothing, being a kid, blah, 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 and then there's this self-consciousness happens. Like, I'm here, I'm watched, I have to be good, I have to now seek to be approved of, and all this rest of the stuff which comes with feeling separate. But with it comes the idea of self-control. Yeah, the idea of self-control, yeah. Because everyone's trying to have self-control. Aren't they? I need more empowerment, I need more self-control. Which proves there's no self-control, because self-control is something that someone's trying to own. Because there is no control. There's no self, and there's no control. So there's no self-control, because there is neither self nor control. Who would control this? And it's funny how, you know, the separate self is very picky about what it controls. It really believes, well, I can control this, this, and this. But the weather's fine. I can't control the weather. That's fine. Or I can't control the mountain. But, you know, of course I can't control the mountain. That's not logical. But I can control my feelings. I can control my future. So it's very picky and choosy about what it believes it can control. And the whole thing is a fantasy, because there isn't anybody to control anything. I'm really croaky tonight. This is what comes from spending too much time alone, not talking. Paul, Wayne Lickerman said something like, if we had control of our lives, we'd be all doing a better job of it. Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you? You'd think so, yeah. Maybe the world would be less polluted if we had self-control. Yeah. Diego. It's too simple and immediate to recognize it? Yes, because there is nobody to recognize it. This is the thing, the idea of being somebody is a thing appearing in no thing. There is only apparent things appearing in no thing, because there is no thing that is really separate. There is nothing separate here. So for something to understand the whole is totally impossible. So that's why nobody gets enlightened. Nobody. Because there isn't anybody to get enlightened. I'm talking here about the end of seeking, the end of the contraction of being somebody. And it will never see it because it's too obvious. Too obvious. Mona. Alessandro, I don't have panic attacks anymore, but that's recognizable. P.S. Control drops away in panic attack. No, there's no one in control anymore. That's the panic attack. That's the panic, yeah. Yeah, because there's no one in control anyway. There's no one in control. So when people have panic attacks or anything like that, what's the other one? The one where you have fits, where the brain is not connecting properly. What's that one called? Anyway, those sorts of things, no one's in control of them. Because if someone was in control of them, they could control it. If there was someone really in control here, you could go around the body and fix it. I'm going to go into my brain, and I'm going to fix the little wires that are loose in my brain. As if anyone's in control. It's just, all it does is worry about the future, or criticize itself, or judge itself. It's completely useless. Epilepsy, thank you. It's a completely useless piece of malware. So it's all really harsh, doesn't it? But in a sense, that's true. And yet, life, it appears in life. But then in the end, there is no sense to anything that appears. There's no sense to anything. What is the sense of this appearing? There's no sense to it. It's nonsense. But it's everything. It's all there is. There's nothing else. Joe, conclusion? In my book at the end, I wrote conclusion, and the only thing on the page was there isn't one. Alessandro, yes, Ramona, panic attacks arise, no one can control. Yeah, that's right. There's no one can control anything. So this one is illusory. Ramona, that's a great control story. But Jesus, my friend, is feel caught in the act, frightened to get it, to control it. No one's in control anyway. But yes, the me fears that. Yeah, the sense of self operates in the sense of control. Yeah. And even when it's surrendering, doing that practice called surrender, it's still in control, because it's in control of surrender. It's still a form of control, surrendering. Nothing wrong with it. You know, whatever floats your boat. If it works, if it helps you, I don't know, give up smoking or something, fine. But it won't. Surrendering, the me surrendering itself will not. It's a form of control, so it won't get rid of itself. Let's put it that way. I want to do something about that, of course. I want A, B, C stepping plan, 12 steps. Yeah, that's why non-duality is not very popular, because nobody's given anything to do. That's why the main question in all that types of questions, unless it's a comment, is what can I do? What can I do? It is very hot. Yeah, like all these cathartic things that people teach people to do, to let go, self-realization, letting go. It's still utter me control. There is no me. There is no me to go. There is no me to lose control. It's a fantasy world. It's like someone, so you got up to 2-year-old and someone went and put a chip in your brain. Right, I'm going to give you self-awareness. And then suddenly I don't want self-awareness anymore. I want to be free of it. Wrong. What was the difference in seeking by a seeker or a non-seeker? Isn't everyone seeking the same thing ultimately, whether they know it or not? Yeah, I think what was meant by non-seeker was someone who has never heard of non-duality. I think that's what they meant. Yeah, everyone, all me's are seekers. Ramona, horribly recognizable. What can I do? What can I do? Yeah, flounders around. What can I do? What can I do? Next retreat will do it. The next talk will do it. The next practice will do it. The next not practice will do it. The next thing will do it. Because I want to know what I can do. I'm going to try anything. 1. When a seeker temporarily finds it, they have peace for a moment. Yeah, you know, a lot of stories can drop, you know, because some people come to non-duality and they're totally in the kind of practice thing, which can be awful. You know, I've got a friend and he was in a very practice-based environment, and it's all very competitive and very stressful. Religion, practice is religion. I mean, that's just all religion, isn't it? It's all belief about becoming enlightened. And so coming to non-duality actually did take a lot of that stress off. It does drop away some of the stories. It doesn't drop to me, of course, unless that happens. But life, that is happening on its own. That's just happening on its own, like everything else. Hi, Sebastian. Even letting go is controlled by me. How to transcend the ego control. Me can't do anything, Sebastian. It can't transcend anything. There's no one to transcend anything. There is no transcending. There is nothing moving from just what is happening. Nothing. There's nothing to transcend what is happening. There's nothing to know what is happening. All there is what is. That's it. Joe, everyone thinks the world is real. Yeah. Paul, if the seeker energy is like an engine, is it good to follow it and seek until it's exhausted, or divert the energy into something else, trusting the me will eventually die? No, because seeking fuels itself. It never gets exhausted. It never gets exhausted. Unless it does, of course. It might do. It might do. I mean, I can only talk from what happened here. Near the end of this sort of central thing called Lisa, there would be nothing, just what's happening, nothing special, just, you know, what's happening, life. And then the self would come back up again, and it would be awful. It would just be awful. It's like I lost the universe. But it was just illusory. It was such an illusion. Yeah, because it's the me that's trusting the me will eventually die. It's still the same thing. It's still having something to do when there isn't anywhere to go. And what hears the message, what hears it, is not the me. The me will hear it as trying to do something or get it, but there's something else that hears it, and it isn't anybody that hearing it, just hearing. Like drinking water, there's nobody drinking water. The body's drinking water. There's nobody drinking water. There's nobody hearing. Hi, Ksaba. I think most people who watch non-duality is frustrated to some degree, because even if it's said that there's nothing to get by the speaker, on the listener's side, there is no certainty about it. Yeah, it can be very frustrating. It can be, but it's so compulsive, isn't it? So compulsive. Because there's something in the simplicity of it, the obviousness of it. There is something that it's just true, isn't it? It's true. The frustration comes from that central little pillar called me trying to find it. But other than that, it's true. There's an obviousness about it. The frustration comes from something trying to know it. But when that frustration and that something trying to know it is gone, there's still just the obviousness of it. And whatever it is besides that can't be known, because there's no one to know it. Well, I won't go into that. Saver. So he still feels that something needs to get understood, no matter how many times it's heard, until the urge is there to know, to get this certainty, he or she remains a seeker. Yeah, the thing is, there is no certainty. Certainty is gone. The certainty comes with the appearance of the seeker. Uncertainty and certainty are me appearances. Because when that's not there, there is no longer certainty or uncertainty. Those concepts just no longer exist. Hard to imagine, isn't it? You don't have to imagine. No imagining needed. It's just very obvious. It's just what is. Yeah, and the urge is there, no matter how long it's heard. The urge is there. Yeah, it's an urge happening. The urge to know is just what's happening. It isn't anybody, it isn't anything. It's a happening. It feels like there's somebody has the urge, but there's not. Urge is just happening. Hi, Tangerine. That's what's happening here. Total schizophrenia. Thank you so much for your constant support and clarification. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, it feels like that. When there's that flip-flopping going on, it's kind of like a madness. I used to spend days in bed. I'll be on the phone to Tony. I'm going mad, Tony. Yeah. Yeah, it'll burn itself out. More than likely. Are you kind of, is it just like coming in and out? Is it a sense of self just appearing and disappearing? I'm guessing that's what's happening. Sebastian, what about prayers? I pray to something greater than me, like God or the universe, to make me disappear. Prayer works with everything, doesn't it? Prayer is just life being a prayer. It either works or it doesn't, or it seems to work, but no more than picking up a book and reading it and words going in the brain. Nothing is needed, you see. Nothing is needed. Everything is as it should be, because it can't be any other way, so nothing is needed. It's just this me that needs it to happen to it. I need it to happen to me. I'm going to pray for it. I'm going to pray that I disappear. But as long as I know it, as long as I know, and I want to know I'm disappearing, so then I can feel complete. But it's not like that. It either is or it isn't. It's either there seeking and praying and hoping and wishing and wanting, or it's not there at all and all that's just gone. That's it. Nothing wrong with anything, Sebastian. But what's being pointed to here is that there isn't anything to pray for in terms of the me disappearing. The me is not there anyway. It just appears to be so. Alessandro, In October, I'm finally attending Tony's meeting. Yay! Enjoy. It's a great meeting. It's always great. I miss going, actually. It's a bit far to go. Tangerine. Yes, it all disappears and it's beautifully clear, and then it comes back with extra fire. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's how it was here as well. Yeah. But it's nothing, you know? It's nothing. It just seems like it's something, but it's not. And then you look back at it and go, oh, nothing actually happened. It was just an appearance, nothing more. Ramona, prayer can be same as beingness. I don't know what beingness is. Like the embracement of completement, prayer can be like a sound of the heart, suddenly resonating with the clouds. Well, it can appear like that. It can appear like that. If that's what's going on, that's what's going on. Yeah, all this stuff's got nothing to do with what I'm talking of. That's just, if that's what's appearing, that's what's appearing. But see, these things don't last, do they? These lovely experiences, nothing wrong with lovely experiences, but they're not it, because there is no it. There's no it. There was no end. There was no goal. There's nothing to get to. Sebastian, don't listen to his words, just speak on pure non-duality energies. Just so, all right, okay. Don't listen to his words. Whose words? It was cooling down and it's heated back up again. Poof. And as for beingness, I don't know anything about beingness. I think that's beingness. Because there is no being anymore. There is no one anymore. There's just what is. I guess you could call that beingness. I guess you could call it, that's probably what you mean. But prayer cannot be the same as beingness. Prayer is happening. Prayer is an appearance. I don't know anything about prayer. I always think of Christians when I think of prayer. Never been a Christian. Well, is that why you moved to southern Spain to escape the cold in London? Well, I was in Brighton, but no, it wasn't the reason. It's hard to remember the reason. I think I didn't want to pay really high rent anymore. I just wanted to change. I just wanted a completely new life. I just wanted to move. Yeah. I didn't even know where I wanted to move to. It's sort of, Spain was just random. I could have just stuck a dot in anywhere in Europe, in the cheap bit. Not Germany or Sweden. Stuck a dot in the cheap bit. Literally, that was almost what happened. Hola, Rafael, ¿qué tal? Ramona, yes, I see. I wanted to defend the word prayer, such an attachment. What's beingness? Oh, right, yes, beingness. Yeah. Paul, so you feel attending Tony's meetings helped your me to die? No, well, no, nothing helps the me to die. It's either, sometimes a sentence can make it shift, but it's not the sentence that's making it shift. It's life colluding in that moment. For nobody, for no reason. But the kind of, the feeling of being someone was already falling apart way before I knew Tony. But going to Tony's meetings was great. It was great. It's like it clarified what was going on. Because somebody might have this going on and then go listen to non-duality and go, that's what it is. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. I totally hear what you're saying. Donnie, when you say this is all there is, how can we know there aren't other dimensions, realms we aren't capable of perceiving from our universe? Well, if you were perceiving other dimensions from another universe, that's what would be down here. That would be what is happening. That would be all there is. Even if this mind suddenly opened up to 8 other universes, it would still be what is happening. Because I'm sure of hours and hours and hours of being in parallel universes, you'd want a cup of tea or to go to the toilet, and that would be the end of it. And you still would never feel complete. So if there is an openness to other parallel universes or dimensions, it's still the same life appearing as other dimensions. Joe, how's it going in Spain? Sometimes I just don't know. I got no idea. It's fine. It's nice. Yeah. Yeah. What do I do? I do what I do. Hi, Will. Oh, you're welcome. Hi, Sunny. Ramona, still the same bum on the seat. Yes. Yes. Still the same bum on the seat. Seat might change. Bum might change. You can get these fake bums now. I saw one in a shop in Berlin. Fake bums. You can actually strap them on. You could be sitting on a fake bum on a seat. I laughed so much. I was like, wow. So I knew you could get, like, you know, padded bras, but a fake bum, padded bum. Wow. Yeah, so still the same bum sitting on a seat. Yeah. You see, it changes so quickly. It changes so quickly. This is a happening in no time. It's a happening in no time, constantly changing and moving. It's you can't grasp it. Well, there's no one to grasp it, but it's ungraspable. Sunny, I was watching Muji's satsang. It finished and saw you online as well. Did you ever watch Muji? I did at the beginning. Well, I was a seeker for a long time, then no seeking. Wobbly center of self. And then Muji came along, and I did watch Muji for a while. But there was something that just said, no, this isn't really what's happening here. Because I couldn't get into the whole awareness thing. Witnessing, consciousness, it just wasn't ringing true. So I was there for a little bit, but then it just wasn't for me at all. Just the whole guru thing, I didn't enjoy either. Ramona, still the fake bum on a different seat. Yeah, padded bum. Just took a cushion on you. No, it was actually contoured and everything. It was quite something. Never seen anything like that. Wow, 9:25. Sunny, would you say there is a difference between what you and Muji say? Overall, when you put everything together, yes. Yes. He says some things that kind of sound a bit like it, but he often talks about the awareness, and then there's this whole kind of people worshipping him going on. And I don't understand how that could happen. I just don't understand how that could happen. How you could allow that to happen. But you know, whatever floats your boat, man. But yeah, because I don't talk about witnessing or awareness, because witnessing and awareness is still me. It's still the same. It's a perspective of coming from somewhere, and I cannot find any perspective of coming from anywhere. Ramona, horribly ungraspable. I hate non-duality. Oh, that's fine. Sorry, that's nonsense. I had lots of love already. Yeah. Well, the me hates non-duality. Ramona loves non-duality. Her me hates non-duality. Paul, he's got a cool beard. Yeah, and he's a nice guy, you know? I've met him. Moody talks about something called JML. Hi, JML. Moody talks about something called God as well. Yeah, he does that. I forgot about that. Yeah, he talks about God. And there's a lot of praying and worshipping. I mean, what would you worship? You might as well worship. I can't even think of anything. My teacup. You know, it's just worship what? What would be worshipping what? It's all life. It's all life. There's nothing greater or lesser than anything. Nothing. In the human story, it seems like that. You know, we'd rather help. It's a choice between rescuing my teacup and an injured cat. We go to the cat, probably more than likely. In that sense, in the human story sense, nothing is more important. Something seems more important, but in reality, there is nothing more than anything else. Hi, Lee. All non-duality speakers say bum on seat must be important. Yeah, it's the only way. It's the key. I think it's because we all have our bums on our seats. Everyone else has probably got bums on seats, unless you're walking. Alexandro. I quote Tony, awareness is bullshit, lol. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's just irrelevant. It's just irrelevant. I mean, it's a red herring. It's a total, it's misleading. Because the only awareness there is a sense of separation that appears and believes itself to be aware. Tangerine, Muji helped me so far, but I was stuck, and listening to you hasn't stuck me, if that makes sense. Yeah. Well, that seems to happen, yeah. A lot of people seem to go through Muji until, you know, until they don't. Yeah, I heard it described as the guru is like the kind, there's the motorway, not as if a motorway as a metaphor goes anywhere, but it's a metaphor, there's a motorway, and then there's the guru here, the slip road. Who said it? Anyway, I'm pinching the analogy. The seeker goes off in the car onto the slip road, and the guru is promising, go this way, and you'll lead you onto the right path. But what happens is you stay on the slipway. You stay on that slipway because the teaching, the guru, becomes about the guru. It's all about the guru, getting the guru's approval, getting the guru's beatific gaze, getting a blessing from the guru. It all becomes like a kind of it just becomes a total circus of people worshipping a body. So you can stay on the slip road for years. Excuse me. Or then, yeah, and then that story just ends, doesn't it? That story just ends. Real bombs. Oh, I have a lot of questions. I'm going to do this quickly. Sunny, yeah, somehow to make non-duality seem higher than humans, a story. They create a hierarchy. Absolutely. There is no hierarchy. There's only what is. Nothing separate. How can something be more separate than something else? How can I, the guru, be less separate than you? It's just nonsense. Nonsense. Saying, I trust words that come out of Lisa Lennon. Oh, don't do that. What a gift to mankind. I guess if it's obvious to you, that's really the only important thing. It's obvious there. Yeah. Don't just a word I say. I don't even know what I'm saying. Just speaking happens. But thank you. I thank you for your. I can hear where you're coming from. And thank you for your kindness. CDD, just wanted to say hi as I'm here listening. Oh, hi CDD. Ramona, garlic. I worship a fart. Worship your bum on seat. In deep meditation and low voice after the gong, worship your bum on seat. Oh, Ramona. Sebastian Moody talks of having a choice to be aware or not. That's a mistaken me choice. That's the illusion of choice. And what would be aware? Awareness is just me thinking I'm aware without thoughts. It's like a disassociated me, but never lasts. It never lasts. Because it's a me experience. Choice to be aware, but who would be aware? Awareness is separation. Mona. That is funny, but I'm not going to read it. Oh, Tangerine, are you doing something in Brighton? Yeah, I've got a talk in Brighton in December. I wanted to do a bit before, but the person who runs it, that's the only weekend he had. I would have liked to have done it in November, but hey, sunny. But to make understand the mind that non-separation is already the case. The gurus create this hierarchy to not value your mind thoughts much. So I can see how it helps thorn removing the thorn analogy. What is clear is that there was never a thorn. Let me just read that again. It's like I couldn't understand it. But to make understand the mind that non-separation is already the case. It's not the mind that understands. It's just the case. And it's just revealed. And in that moment of it being revealed, the whole illusion of separation is also revealed as was never really a person. The guru creates this hierarchy to not value your mind thoughts much. I don't know about any of that. I'm just not into hierarchy. It's just this character. I can't see anything that's, I don't know, it's just still a teaching, it's still a teaching. Ella. Hi Ella. Ultimately, it doesn't at all matter if there is worshipping a guru, but what the guru does This is all whatever happens. Yeah, ultimately, but it's also bullshit. What can I say? It's also, it's not, nothing that happens, nothing that I do will make me disappear. Worshipping the guru. Yeah, nothing wrong with anything. You could say there's nothing wrong in war, but that would be an intellectual understanding that there's nothing wrong with war. It's all the one happening. And ultimately, yes, it does. It is. But at the same time, no, war is shit. If you get too much into intellectual understanding of everything is just what happening, so everything's okay. Yes, it is, ultimately. But nobody knows that. That can't be known. But also, you can also say, no, worshipping the guru is a false flag operation. Raphael, laughing at the guru talk. Yeah. I'm a bit irreverent. I won't apologize for it. Ron, I was wondering if you'd read that. Don't know, I have heard you swear. Oh yeah, I swear a little bit. I swear a little bit. But I try not to. I'm not a big swearer, but I don't want to upset people who don't like swearing. I swear when it's needed, when it comes out. But, how is even the difference between worshipping in an ashram and sitting here all together right now that I can't understand? No, I know. Well, sitting in an ashram, you really are convinced that you're going somewhere, because there's a thing called enlightenment at the end of the road. Either at the end of a road or in the next life. They have all this belief. All this belief is in the next moment. Because this message isn't about that, is it? Hi, Chris. That's what I say. It's all BS. Those around me don't understand. Yeah. Saying, pointing to unknowingness is the last shit. Everyone's swearing. There, you swore. Yay. Yeah, I do swear. But I just try to keep it down on here. Yes, I did hear her saying F that. Did I? That's okay. Sometimes it's warranted. Chris, I mean, it's all BS. If you can't talk about it, it's bullshit. Yeah. GML. Formerly, you said to me that it is not important when I get liberated in my life. Don't think I would have put it that way, but it can happen 1 second before death in my body, and that is the same, like it would happen now. Why is that? I don't know. I don't have the answers to this appearance. I'm assuming at the physical death, because the self is not real, it's not a real person that passes over as a soul, that would be the end of the story. It's just the end of the story, isn't it? The end of the body is the end of this story. The self disappearing can happen any second, but it never happens any second. It's just what's happening. Really, it's just what's happening. And it's not important, no. It's only important to the self. It thinks it's going to get liberated. That's what it thinks. I will get liberated. I want liberation. I will be liberated. No, this is not what I'm talking about. This is about the end of liberation. The end of it. The whole story of liberation is over. Finished. Sunny, what you are saying is right from the highest awakened view. However, someone seeing it to be stuck in the dream, these structures of hierarchy do help. Yeah, they help the me. But when the me is not there, you'll realize that nothing helped it because there wasn't anyone really there. It only appears like it helps the me, but it doesn't. There is no me to help. The me can't be helped. The me can only seek, or appear to seek less, or seek more. But for some, the guru thing can be awful as well. I know a lot of people who've been traumatized in that. It can be really awful, really unhealthy. It can really be abused. It can be abusive as well. Hierarchy can be abusive. Not always, but it can be. And I tell you, when you're in a satsang or a group like that with a hierarchy, you better not become free because you'll be kicked out. They won't want you anymore, and you won't want to be there anymore. The unknown, said Joe. Yeah, this is the unknown. This. Hey, people like to dream. They do. They do. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with anything. I'm just pointing out my experience of hierarchy. And that's not necessary. Because everything is, all there is what's happening. That's it. That's it. All there is what's happening. It's actually pointless talking about gurus and this and that and other things because they're irrelevant. Nothing will ever be other than this. Sunny, do you have values stilling or stopping the mind? No. No. I guess people do that to try and relax, but it's irrelevant. So many questions. I'm over time. I'll try and finish these ones. Appreciate it though. No, stilling the mind. So what? Go and watch still mind. Be me with a still mind. It won't last long. Nothing wrong with thoughts, nothing wrong with anything. Everything is just utterly perfect as it is. Oh, thank you, Chris. Oh, I hope you enjoy it. It's a small book, but it's dense. I don't waffle. I just get straight into it. And doesn't this play the role then of guru or the one kicked out? Yes, it is. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yeah, it's everything. It's everything. There's no point in trying to intellectualize anything that's been said. I'm just being flippant about being kicked out, but it is true. That's what happens to a lot of people. It's all the thing. It's all. I'm going to say it again because I know I have to say it a lot. All there is what's happening. Everything else is relevant, and if it's relevant, it's just what's happening. That's it. I should have that tattooed on my head. Ramona, merciless, radical, frustrating non-duality. No other better moment to live up to. Horrible, and also woohoo, but not for me. For me, this is a living hell. It's true. Can't stop laughing. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Just saying that people don't want to wake up. I guess. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, yeah. I don't see people as me's. There is no me's. There's just the whole of life. The whole of life. Yeah, and some of it appears as people not wanting to wake up. And some of it appears as people wanting to wake up. But it's all the same life. All just happening. And that's fine, yeah. Sunny, yeah, because if you awaken, you'll see the pointlessness of anything that's happening in the group. I think let's say group. It just won't be relevant anymore because the group is trying to get something. It's usually the end of groups, full stop. Unless it's like yoga or something, pottery. Tangerine. I was in a car accident. At the moment of the crash, I felt my spirit leave as if it had done it 1,000 times before. So I've lost that. Just keep losing things. All right, sorry. Right, yeah. Yeah, I have no experience of that. Yeah. I don't dismiss anything. Because whatever's happening, yeah, group, yeah, Sunny, yeah. CDD. Oh, thank you, CDD. Thank you so much, Carrie. I know a guru who helps a lot of people with the money she gets, and it seems a lot of people do get free by her help, but it didn't seem to happen here. Didn't seem to happen here. It just seems like that, Kari. And I just want to say thank you, Kari. And you know why. It just seems like that. That's all it is. It just seems like it. Sense of self is just a happening that seems to be so true. When that self is no longer there, you'll see that it wasn't anything. It just didn't matter. Donnie, oh, thank you, Donnie. Thank you, Sergi. Thanks, Joe. Thank you for cutting through, Risa Stain. I'm 66, I've seen it all. Yeah. You're welcome. Sonny, I do feel some energetic support in satsang place. So yeah, I can feel energetically supportive, sure. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying don't go. Because there is no one to not go. That's just what's happening. That's just what's happening there. Oh, thanks, Keel. Thanks, Chris. That's true. I'm intellectualizing it. That is what is happening. Yeah, totally. Alessandra, but even the phrase "is what's happening" is irrelevant. Yeah, but that's the closest words that I can find. It's the closest words. Yeah. Yeah. Everything's included. Thank you, Sunny. Thank you, Ella. It's like some horror movies. Many prefer even crappy and sad stories to no story. Yeah. Joe. So, okay, I'm gonna go, guys. Thanks so much. And I'm going to try and be here at 8:30 on Wednesday. If I'm not here, I'll be maybe on my balcony. Either one, but I'm going to try and make it for 8:30. So thank you. Thanks, Claudia. Thanks, Paul. Tangerine, Joe. Thanks, guys. And see you soon. Bye.